Are you interested in ink devices, and in particular the new Onyx Boox Tab XC? After having published my first video with the unboxing and first impressions, here is an extensive Q&A session, your questions and my answers. If you're interested, then let's get into it. Here we are, and I'm going to try to answer your questions that you have been asking in the comments. Some of them in writing personally, but some of them also here, because I think these answers or these questions are relevant for everyone. This is not yet a full review because I need to work with the device for a couple of days, maybe for a week, until I can really give you a full review and my full feedback. So let's start now, just going through a couple of questions, and I want to show you a little bit about the stylus and the feedback of the stylus, especially this handwriting and this vibration feedback. Can we not access through USB charging port? I mean, your external SD card reader. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, what I have here is a small USB C reader from ScanDisk. This is one of these devices which has essentially two plugs. So let's just open the device, and actually I will get rid of the cover for the time being, and let's go to the home screen, and I will plug in this and see what happens. Okay, OTG USB memory, okay, yes. And now let's see what happens, because now we would likely, first of all, you see, that is a little bit tricky. So you should probably really use a plug which is not that thick, because this whole stick is very thick and the entire device is now wobbling. Not maybe a good idea, not a sustainable usage scenario. So I will move the device a little bit down. And now I have tried to move this into this dedicated group here, and here are my files. And now let's see. Aha, yes. So memory and stick 256. And if I go here, I don't know what there is on. Honestly, there seems to be some video files lost your Samsung. Okay. I'm honest with you, I don't know what's on the device exactly. I just know that there is something on, and it can obviously read the device. So yes, USB, accessing additional storage through external USB, and that would include also an external USB card reader to use with an SD card, is possible. It may not be very convenient, but that's another story. So let's see. Yes, eject. Okay. And now this says ejected. I'm sorry, I'm still in the German setting, but I could probably reactivate it. But ejected means it's safe to be removed. I'm going to remove it, and it's gone. Okay. So external USB storage works as expected. This bar on bottom is the installation of the Google Gboard. This is the Google own keyboard application. You know, on Android you can change the keyboards and install customized versions. You can install the one from Microsoft, which is not bad, by the way. But this, of course, links with your Google account. It links with all the passwords, etc. And in this case, I actually did like somehow this split setup, because it is very small. Yes, it has a lot of free space here. This is something which is unused, okay. The space key is here. I've even set 2 languages. Here it's for English. And what you have as well is here the all the emojis, and that pops up quite a large menu to go into this one. But the keyboard only is in split view, and that gives you a lot of screen real estate. And in particular, I'm definitely not using this device for typing. I am using it, if at all, then I'm using it like that in my hands to read books. Yeah, swipe left, swipe right, and then yes, I can even use, as some comments say, on the left side to hold it. Fine for me. But if I type something for search, then I do it like this. And this two thumb typing is actually ideal even in this large size. So this is why I'm using this particular keyboard setup rather than the Onyx native keyboard application, because it does not integrate with my dictionary, that the recording is different and so on. So I want the Google experience. Now to the pens. There was a comment about the Remarkable pen works on both devices. The Tab XC pen works on both and also quite well on the Remarkable, but the Remarkable pen does not work well on this one. And I have actually a third one, which is this here. This is a Metapen, which is, I don't know, a 20 to 30 euro device on Amazon, which is not linked to any device. It does not have any remote or inductive charging. You need to charge this by taking out and here putting in a USB-C cable. And this is a rubber closing of the USB-C port, which I'm sure will be lost at some point in time. I still have it for some awkward reason. So let's now go back to the note-taking app, and I will open a new page. And I've also here a ruler or a, triangle to show you how different pens behave when drawing a straight line. And because of the slippery surface, I need really to hold it quite tight here. Now this is the Remarkable pen. And if you do it like this, you see that the line is not straight. So there are micro jitters, micro vibrations, which seems a little bit strange. Then we have here this Metapen, this third-party pen from Amazon, which seems almost slightly better, but the pressure sensitivity here is much, much higher. So if I use a subtle pressure here with the Remarkable pen and a subtle pressure here with this pen, there is a difference. If I use maximum pressure with the Remarkable pen, I get this. If I use maximum pressure, I get this. But in between, so I would say half, yeah, this is more sensitive. So you quite easy get a thicker pen stroke using this pen. Now, obviously, the one you should use is the Onyx Boox pen that comes with the device. And I'm also going to draw now a straight line. And it definitely looks better than the rest. It's still, and that is a phenomenon we have on some of the active styluses on other devices as well. It is not absolutely straight, so there is a micro vibration, and that, I think, has to do with the frequency of the electric field, because these pens produce an electric field which is induced into the surface of the device, whereas the passive styluses are the other way around. There is an electric field on the device, and which is disturbed by the pen, and then there is a microfield induced, I guess, into the tip of the device, and that gives the feedback. So definitely, because this is charged, there is an electric field, and there must be some sort of frequency. And if the device and the pen are not fully aligned, even if this is a standard, this follows a standard, then maybe you have these micro vibrations. In any case, of course, and knock on wood, yeah, the original pen is the best for this purpose. Here also the subtle strokes are subtle. The strong strokes are strong, and yeah, works actually quite well, and I think has also a decent grip. What I can tell you also right now is that the Remarkable pen is very, very slippery, and you see also that this line artifacts here are not really great. This third-party Metapen works quite well. I wouldn't even refuse to work with this one, but extremely slippery because the tip, which you can of course take out here, is very hard. Yeah, it's very hard. Hard plastic on hard glass. So it cannot be a good feeling, honestly. Oh, why? And this one is an interesting hybrid, I would say. The tip is hard, but it has sort of a rubbery surface. Yeah, and it somehow sticks, has more friction even on glass. So even if you take this triangle here and here, almost, you see that? Okay, I can even move the triangle. If I do this with a Remarkable pen, no, it's slipping away. If I do it with that one, yeah. So definitely these two are hard tips, and that is a more softer, more grippy tip, even if it's still, because of the technology of the active stylus, a hard tip. Now there is one more thing, and that is now I'm going into the settings and I'm going to show you this. Here we have where do we have the more settings. You have to go to more settings and then into stylus. And here on stylus you have haptic feedback, weak, as a weak here, strong. So you see, by the way, I assume all of you with English native language will be happy because 99% of your menus and so on are fully translated. For other languages, in this case German, yeah, partially translated, but here haptic feedback, simulate real writing effects, weak, strong. I mean, it's fine for me, but it has nothing to do with German, and so this is, somewhere in the middle, and it really depends in which menu you are, in which application, if it works or not. So here you have the model is the Boox InkSpire, serial number, hardware version and software version. Maybe you can even go here. No, it doesn't do anything. But I assume there will be some sort of firmware update as well using it. And now I have set it to the strongest vibration mode at the moment, which means you feel that the tip is vibrating and the whole pencil or pen is vibrating. Very fast vibrations, so micro vibrations. And if you are writing, because this nib is has a slight friction on the surface, much more than these hard nibs, like a little bit of a, yeah, and you do this, and you do it especially like that, then it is very strange, because if you keep it like this, yeah, then the whole pen is micro vibrating. What is the sensation on the surface? It's like writing on sandpaper. It feels a little bit artificial, and I think this is because I have set this effect to maximum. So probably maximum is too much. Okay, that could be the case. Test as or yeah, for demo purposes. Yeah, so the writing honestly is okay. I would say the Remarkable Paper Pro is better for handwriting. It is a note-taking device, as as marketed as such. So I would really say it's the better device for this purpose. However, it works quite well. And if you have this with you as an all-in-one device, then it's definitely the best way to input text or anything else. Yeah, there is one thing. I don't go into the AI features, but here is one. You can enable the form closing or form continuation, lasso recognition, and the automatic eraser mode. And that's something very useful. Now it works. You see, it takes some time. Maybe you need to hold it. Yeah, and then it works. Okay, learning effect. The automatic shape recognition takes some time. And then the automatic lasso mode also detects that I wanted to select it. And then I can go back and that's it. And one of the most useful okay, so I made a mistake and I want to erase the mistake. Of course, I can now go into the eraser mode because there is no eraser at the top end of the stylus. But what works quite well for me is also this mode to delete certain text. And as you can see, the only downside is it does not detect partial blocks of text or of shapes for deletion. You need to delete a full unit of or stroke, unit of or entity. Well, if I want to delete the entire word useful, maybe because I interrupted here, I can do this. Yes, and then it's deleted. So this is at least something I use very, very frequently in my last couple of tests already, because for me that's a very interesting feature, especially because there is no eraser at the end of the device. Now, let's try the eraser of the Remarkable device, and you see that is not working. The Remarkable here is recognized as something extremely awkward, whatever that is. Maybe interesting piece of art, but while the pen is also questionable and the quality of the pen here, but when I use the eraser mode in fast, okay, then somehow it works. But because of obviously frequency issues, I can here really create interesting interferences likely. Look here what happens. Just moving slowly, and it looks, I don't know what it does. Okay. And this one does not even have an eraser mode. So again here, I guess this is also, it will use the scribble feature to get rid of the lines. Okay, there is no line. Yeah, sometimes it does not really work. Yeah, I mean the colors also, the way colors are mixed is interesting. Let's now go for and write like a red. And now what happens if I apply the text marker? So this goes over the strokes that I've drawn in black. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, using that with other colors, I'm trying to show you this here. Using this with other colors creates an overlay. Yes. So here you definitely see that the color is more or less covered, at least the blue one. The red one is well visible under the strokes of the highlighter. And as expected for the black text, it works very well, which was also an issue in early software versions, at least on my Onyx Boox Tab Ultra C, not on this one. So it seems that this software is already taking this into account right from the beginning, which makes sense to me. So that was something I wanted to show you about the note-taking application and all the details like highlighting, tagging, the AI features. We can do in a full review. But just note, if you are using this device and you want the eraser function back, then probably, oops, this may not work. But going back into the scribble mode, and you just do this, and yeah, the word is erased. It only works for discrete stroke sequences. So if you write a word in 2 parts, then you can erase a certain part, or you can erase full words. The Boox tab C question is whether the writing experience on the book tab C is the same as on the Remarkable. Can you confirm this? Definitely not. So unfortunately, if you're looking for the writing experience, I would say there is a clear ranking between the more adhesive, sticky, or friction-rich devices, where the Remarkable 2 and the Onyx Boox Go series, and I presume also the Max, if you want a 13-inch device, are definitely leading the game. Then you have the Remarkable Paper Pro with this pen, which has, I would say it's like a ball pen. So if you put a piece of paper, like this one, yeah, on a glossy or a hard surface like here, and then you start to write with a normal pen like this, if it writes, yeah. First of all, you have you hear more of a noise, and you have certain friction, but not a lot of resistance, if you understand what I mean. And this is how the Remarkable Paper Pro feels. Whereas the Remarkable 2 and the Onyx Boox Go 10.3 and the Note Max are more on the extreme friction side. It's like a pencil on a very resistive, very friction-rich surface, maybe a pencil on sandpaper or something like that. So actually even a little bit too much. So I was also using the Remarkable 2 and then switched to the Pro, and I thought, oh, the Pro is slippery, but I got used to it because it's more like the feeling on a real paper writing on. This is a hard surface, so that's about how it feels. Now on the Tab XC on this device here, it is by far less friction than it is on the Remarkable Paper Pro. So it is much more slippery than anything you might be used to from the Remarkable perspective. But with this additional, feedback mode, this vibration motor, it is absolutely decent. I wouldn't write my next novel on this device. Spoiler alert, I wouldn't write it anyway with handwriting these days. I would use it on my FreeWrite Traveler or FreeWrite Alpha. But it is a decent note-taking device. I think you can decently work with that. It has good palm rejection. You can write. You can have different colors. You can do some, flag. Sometimes the AI gets in the way because this should just be a real circle and not a selection. So this automatic lasso mode is something I'm not so happy with. So maybe I'm going to disable this lasso recognition, because then I can say, okay, make a diagram, can draw it myself, can brainstorm things, whatever. So it is a decent handwriting experience, but the Remarkable Paper Pro is much better. And if you're looking for a high friction handwriting experience, even the Remarkable Paper Pro is not your best friend. So then I would really go into the Remarkable 2, keep it as it is because it's perfect for note-taking. Or if you want Android device, then maybe the Onyx Boox Go 10.3 or the Note Max. So here we are now in OneNote, and you see this is an old document already, but I can go here and select color. And as you can see, and that is something you are probably anyway aware of, that the OneNote application is optimized for e-ink, so you have a good stroke speed here. For some reason, if you write here on bottom, there is a real issue. If you write here, for some reason, it works properly. So I can't give you an explanation where here on the right side, everything is fine. Here on the left side, it is a pain. That may be a bug. This may be related to the Onyx implementation. You see now what happens. So if I draw a stroke here, this is actually unusable. If I draw it here on the right side, it's absolutely fine. And this is even black. Okay. I'm honest with you. This is not ready for prime time yet. So let's go here, and here it seems to end. Maybe that's some sort of optimization for other e-ink sizes, and maybe this optimization to get the proper ink speed and recognition and really have no lag is related to a certain layer or implementation that requires coordinates. And because this device is much larger, then it may be different. Cannot really explain it properly. Just a finding made right now because I wanted to answer your question. But at the moment, as it is implemented as of today, I would say no, it's not really usable in Microsoft OneNote. Yeah, okay. There is another question. How do you feel its weight? Is it heavy for long reading on hand or palm? Is it heavy? Well, I would say that really depends. But let's compare it to a device you probably all know, and that is the Remarkable Paper Pro. And I'm using now here the Remarkable Paper Pro. And I can say this is a little bit heavier, but I wouldn't even realize it. So the Remarkable is relatively heavy because it's a very solid device, and this is heavier, but taking into account the size and also the slimness, it's very usable. So my honest opinion, using it as an e-reader, yeah, for a longer period of time in your hands and reading whatever, let's just open a book here and just starting to read, then I would say you could read hours with that. If you are holding it in one hand for a presentation while walking in front of your audience and using it maybe even presenting with this and wireless streaming to a beamer or whatever, it could get a little bit heavy. Yeah. So I'm not sure if this is your preferred way of doing it. But in two hands, reading it, it's fine. And in most cases, you would even put your hands on a desk, or on your knees or your lap or something like this. So no issues. But it's not significantly heavier than the Remarkable. So keep that in mind because the difference is less than you would expect. Yeah, the ecosystem, and that is something I will touch in my full review after a couple of days. That is something which I really love in the Remarkable, the tagging system. and how easy and optimized it is for organizing and reading documents. I know that the Remarkable is mainly marketed as a note-taking device, but for me, it's almost the perfect e-reader. Whereas the Onyx Boox Tab Ultra C is the ultimate productivity device, which I think is it is great. It makes absolute sense. You need to you may have the need for that, and it's also in certain cases, of course, you have the advantage that here you have all the software you need. So, for example, even for an e-reader, the Remarkable can just read the PDFs, the documents you send from the web browser via the Chrome extension. So if you are like me or was like me a year ago when I preferred still to use Safari because it's much better integrated in the Mac system, there is no extension for Safari, or many extensions do not exist, and then you are out of luck. So I changed everything to Google, to Chrome, and you can also use, of course, Chrome compatible browsers, but it does not work on every browser like Safari. And then you can save your page as EPUB and send it directly to the Remarkable device. So that's great. But on the other hand, here, I use directly now the Reader application, so from Readwise, and that is absolutely fantastic. So, for example, here an article that is about researchers asked almost 50,000 people how to use AI and so on. A study, by the way, from KPMG. Uh, and that is great because you have the full article available, and you can adjust the settings. You can even use the screen reader function and have it read to you while you may not be able to look at the screen. And we all know that these AI voices in the meantime are absolutely perfect in the meantime. So you can listen to them and it sounds close to human with intonation and everything is fine. And that is, of course, a major advantage compared to the Remarkable tablet. But then on the other hand, the library is so limited. You have either you have the virtual shelves, or you have a folder structure, which I prefer because then I can directly copy that from devices. But this automatic synchronization with the cloud is much better implemented, and the tags. And you can have, and this is the main reason why you want a tagging system, because tagging means you have essentially multiple tags per document. I can have AI and I can have education, and I will then find all my documents which are related to AI in education, AI in schools, etc. And here you can have in the shelf mode or in the folder mode, you can just have one folder. So it's one choice or the other, which is an outdated system which we should even on desktops in no document management, we should use this approach to have distinct folders, and you have to choose between either or the folder that you want to use, because that's heavily limiting your organizational freedom. Would have loved to see Microsoft Word and typing and the flow of Office apps using the mouse. I mean, that's something I can show you. Give me a second to get rid of the Remarkable here, because we're not going to use this now. And here we have the keyboard folio. So let's put it in. Now it's going to be attached to the magnet. Yes, it's already there. Now let's get it to the the docking, and I try to position it. I mean, yes, the angle from this camera is a little bit strange, but I think you could partially see it. And by the way, there is a setting which allows you to enable fast refresh mode as soon as you connect the keyboard. And this, I think this makes sense because then the experience is okay. And in 90% of the cases, people are worried about the lag of typing, and this is definitely not the case. So here you see my title is different. There is a certain lag. This is the mouse. I hope you can see the mouse movement, and this is not because I kept the plastic here. Of course, there is a certain lag because it's e-ink, but it should be absolutely fine. Now, you know in the meantime that I'm not able to write, absolutely without looking on the keyboard, and my typing speed is completely inferior. But I am going to try and show you how fast the characters appear on the screen. So you see there is a certain delay, and maybe I'm going to try and put it more into the camera, but then I cannot type. But let's do it like this. Here is the enter key. So I'm now, as you can see, there is a certain delay. Okay, and this is how it looks like. Now, I hope I could answer most of your questions so far, and I'm continuing to use the device in daily work, in my consulting business, in my own productivity, to read for leisure, to read professionally, to read nonfiction books. And I will keep you updated about my findings, and finally with my official large review. But honestly, that will take an additional couple of days to be completed. So stay tuned if you're interested, and I'll see you in the next one.